sure how much you can see this. I'm trying to get more growing space this year because I've got virtually nowhere to put salad crops and what have you. This isn't quite ready yet, but I should be able to use that. But the siftings are going to have to go into another compost heap, which is very easily done. So I'm going to do that with all these three. This is my homemade sifter I made. About half a inch mesh, I should say. A couple of runners. Makes life a lot easier for me. I won't be able to stand over with a hand sieve and do this. These sides are just 2L sections screwed to 2 cross pieces, and I put some plastic runners, this piece of spare plastic I had, and on the bottom of this square frame just got some plastic things. I think these came with some kitchen units we had, and these are like the spares. It's given me a rough compost, which is fine, good enough for putting on beds and mulching. I won't use it for anything else really. Scrape the lumps of it. When this wheelbarrow's getting full, I'll just tip it on the bed where I'm going to grow my sweet corn, I think. It's not too bad really. This is the end I normally stand at. I didn't know whether I could see it or not. I knew it was more difficult. It's easy to do downhill. Later. All this top stuff is going in there. These will be here until the end of this year at least. Well, some of this will have broken down, it doesn't matter if it all hasn't, because get sifted out like this, and this is what's left. There's a few of those in here, but that doesn't matter, they can be hauled off if they come back. Actually looks really nice. Look at that, it's lovely. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm sure some people will think, well, understand why I'm trying to reclaim some growing space, but wondering what the heck these Daleks were doing there in the first place. And the whole reason there was this used to be 3 blueberry bushes. Now, I was going to try and leave it another year because I just filled them with mostly garden waste, but some manure and other, garden trimmings and what have you. And they were full. They're down to about a third full now, so they have rotted down quite well. And the whole idea was to kill the blueberry bushes underneath so I didn't have to dig them out. That was the rationale of that. It actually worked over here because I had 2 huge blackcurrant bushes, and I did the same thing, but I did leave the Daleks there for quite some time. I think it was well over a year, whereas these have only been here not a year yet. And when I finished taking that out, I came to the stump of it and I cut the top off, and it was still green inside, so it was still potentially growing. So what I've done is I have dug it up and I've taken it down and gifted it to our grow to give plot. So that's what I'm doing. But this is what's coming out of it. This is going to be the sweet corn in here, and I'm just mulching the bed with that for now. Doing one of them is enough for an old fella like me, so I'll do another tomorrow and then probably another the next day, weather permitting, and then eventually I'll have this bed back as a full growing bed, and I've got somewhere to put stuff. That's my reasoning. My next task here is I was hoping these were going to catch up to each other. This is cabbage red lodero and this is kiloton. They're both resistant to clubroot, but the growth rate seems totally different. So I'm gonna just do the red loderos today, try and get half a dozen of these. So let's give this a go. Hopefully without disturbing much else. Again, I can do a correction with the legginess. As long as the level of the compost is below the cotyledons. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Nice and firm, like all brassicas like it nice and firm. I have sifted this soil. You might think it's not necessary, but it would be so easy to damage the stems. The stems are still quite fragile at this stage, I think. Looks like I'll only just get half a dozen anyway. So that worked out well, basically. Serendipity again. Of course, like always, there'll be a transplant shop. There wasn't that much root disturbance, and I think these will come on. And I'll give these a bit longer. I'll just give them a bath. Okay, for no other reason, the fact that I haven't got any room to plant these, and they are ready to come out of these pots, so I'm just going to put them in a slightly bit bigger pot for now, and hopefully I can find some space for some of them in that bed I'm trying to reclaim. It's about the only space I can imagine it would go. But you can see these are ready to be potted on, at least. So I should be able to keep them in here for at least another couple of weeks at least. So they're looking good now. So I'll crack on with these. I'm just doing half a dozen for now. I did have 15, but I'm not sure how many I'm going to get done. So I did actually pot up all 15 in the end, and they look pretty good actually. You just got to be careful with your labelling, because these celery look very similar to these celeriac. Anyway, if I have to, I'll put these in big pots, big 10-litre pots, and see what we get from them. Not all of them, I'll put some in the ground. But what I used to do, I made a joke the other day about husbands taking the wives' bunches of flowers, and I take mine bunches of celery, and that's true. Because what I'll do is, once they've grown and they're ready to be harvested, I just cut them straight across at about 3 inches from the soil level, and just take the whole bunch back and put them in a vase on the kitchen, and they keep for a week or two at least. And you can then use the leaves in soup, stews, and and salads and all sorts. Don't really use the stems as much as the leaves. Anyway, that's me done for the day, and I'll see you tomorrow.